Earl, here we are, and we are volunteering.
Yeah, we're volunteering.
Volunteerism.
Volunteerism. Well, one of my mantras that I live by is, giving, serving, sharing. And once a week, I made a commitment to volunteer at the St. John's Medical Center right here, and it's just utterly amazingly wonderful because there's nothing like it. I mean, there's not a shift that goes by that my heart isn't swelling with just appreciation for life, and literally and figuratively, because I work in the surgery waiting room, and what happens there is that you have all the patients and are having surgeries anywhere from cancer to heart procedures to orthopedic procedures to not minor, but plastic surgery stuff, the whole gamut of everything. And it's really amazing that you're surrounded by all the patients' relatives and friends. And the deal is that you realize you have to feel what they're going through, and the stress factor, and the worrying, and that they're gonna that maybe the worst could occur to a family member, a loved one. So the important thing is that you have to feel what they're going through, because a lot of them, when they're waiting to find out what the deal is, they become impatient. They're upset. They're wound up real tight, and you got to go with it. You got to have a certain amount of maturity, and I think that that's why they have older folks, senior citizens, if you will, doing the volunteering, because their capacity for understanding what's happening is greater than someone who's younger, so it's totally understanding. And I quite honestly, I wouldn't work anywhere else but the surgery waiting room, because what's so cool is that once a family member or a friend of the family gets the word that everything went well, the patient's doing well, then they're on the road to recovery. And when I say that, figuratively and literally, they're on the road to recovery, but I'm talking about when the patient comes from the OR, the operating room, into recovery, where I'm at in the surgery waiting room. It's because it's all about the recovery. It's amazing, because all of a sudden you may be dealing with someone that was very upset or irritated or worried, sick about what was going on, and they're the first to say, "Can I get you something? Can I get you a cup of coffee? Can I get you a cup of soup? Can I?" It's just when they know that the relative or the friend has come through a procedure, and no complications, it is it's the most fabulous feeling that you, because you're sharing that with that person, you're sharing that with that family, and there's no greater feeling that I've encountered. It's just you're one with the person, you're one with the patient. And then a couple times that I've experienced is that someone didn't make it, they just didn't make it, and that's a tough one. That's a tough deal, because you want to be as comforting as possible, and you want to dispense those hugs, and you want to try and provide some sort of comfort, but some people are they're you just can't do that, because they're dealing with a death, and let's be honest about it. It's for us that are still alive and living and going through our daily lives that are suffering the most when someone departs. It's just it's the way it is, because the one who departs is in a better place, and that's the joyful thing of it, but it takes a while to absorb all that, And then I'm in another program here. It's called No One Dies Alone. And what that is that if a patient who's terminal or close to being terminal, and they have no family or relatives here, you stay with that person, and you try and comfort them as much as you possibly can. And or what you do is you relieve the relatives that are here, because they're on this 24-hour vigil, because this the patient is not going to be with us too much longer. And that's a tough thing. But, again, I think you need the capacity of the experience of life. You gotta go through some stuff to be able to do that. And I volunteered for this program because I just felt that what's been happening in my life and my life's experiences have brought me to a point where I can handle that. Because I've had a couple of situations where I almost died, and I think that once one goes through that and you realize that you've been saved, it's like your whole perspective of life immediately changes. I mean, I thought I was fearless, but when you have an experience where you almost leave this earth, you realize that you've been saved for a purpose, and my purpose is for the greater good, and it's a challenge that I embrace. I love it. I thrive on that because when you have purpose, your whole life changes. It's like a whole different feeling and viewpoint that you have, because like, hey, we're all God's children, and we all have our mission. And I think that our mission is to give, serve, and share. That's what we're really born to do. And I think that when a person realizes that that's his life's work, no matter what his vocation is, no matter how successful financially or whatever, that giving, serving, and sharing it's what it's all about. And I thrive on that. I thrive on volunteering. I may put in a couple days here if I can make the time, because it's very rewarding. It's extremely rewarding. And I think if someone has the time, I know things are really tough financially for most of us, but if you can make time even to volunteer for a couple hours in something, doing some sort of volunteering, not only is who you're volunteering for, what you're volunteering for, but you're going to get the joy. You're going to get the amazing feeling of giving of yourself, because, hey, I'm a lucky guy. I know I'm a blessed guy. I'm healthy. I've never had any serious illnesses in my whole life. I've had lots of orthopedic surgeries because I've always been an athlete, and I still am. But, I'm going to be 69 years old, and I feel fantastic. I feel so alive and so healthy. And, I'm spiritually healthy. That is part of wellness. It's mental, physical, and spiritual wellness. And if you put those magical dots together, boy, you're gonna have an amazing life. And I think it's every human being's duty and purpose to live an amazing, magnificent life. And part of that is giving of yourself, and part of that is the generosity that you freely give. And it's a loving act, and I think that it's all about love. It's all about giving, again, serving and sharing. It's all faith-based. My faith is unbreakable. My faith is unbending, and because I almost died about 1.5 years ago on the Santa Monica 10 freeway. I blew a tire. I was in the third lane, and cars were going like 85, 90 miles an hour. It wasn't that busy because they were just flying by. I blew this tire, and for about, I was freaked for about maybe, 10, 20 seconds. But then all of a sudden I had this like supreme calmness come over me. And I realized that because I had accepted maybe a year before that it just wasn't my time. So all of a sudden, miraculously, and I'm not exaggerating at all of a sudden a pathway opened up for me to enable me to drive my car onto the shoulder. And once I got onto the shoulder, I started sobbing. I couldn't stop for 20, 30 minutes. I knew I had been saved. I knew that it wasn't my time to go. I knew that I was going to be sticking around this earth for whenever I was called. and that was totally for the greater good, totally to give as much of myself as possible, you know. And what I'm doing is, you know, can I help what's going on in Syria? Can I help the family that's going on in the world? Not really. You know, I can't. But what I can do is be an example of healthy aging and how you can hang around on this earth a lot longer if you take good care of yourself, if you eat right, if you exercise, you know, and it works. I mean, even, I'll tell you something, even if you don't care about yourself, think about your loved ones, think about your family, think about the people that you have on this earth that love you, and they want you to hang around as long as possible. So my deal is this: it's all about, you know, mental, physical, and spiritual wellness. And you know, if you connect those magical dots, you're really into something. You know, and that's my firm belief. I live that life. You know, everything that I say is from my own experience. It's not from someone else's experience. It's from my own experience. And I know it works. It works for me. If it works for me and I'm just an average guy, you know, I'm pretty well preserved, but, you know, that's only because I live right. You know, I have no more bad habits anymore, and I had plenty, believe me. And, you know, my life is as clean as I eat, you know, so that's the deal. We all have the ability to improve the quality of our life the way we live our life. And I think that's an amazing deal. Anyway, that's my take on wellness, and now I'm heading into the medical center because I got to start doing my shift.